Bortle here at the Fort Worth, Texas Regional Post with Whoa. Please introduce yourselves to the world, man.
Nicholas Renniger.
Taylor Massey.
What'd y'all do today?
I got 7th.
I got 4th.
Okay.
Fire King, Snake Eye, Azamina.
Okay, in these decks, y'all played like pretty much identical card for card?
Yeah, main, extra, exact same, and side deck is just 1 card different.
Okay, sweet. What made y'all decide to play Fire Kings for the event?
Kieran and Flamebirch are the best cards right now, and we just trust them to get us there.
And Impulse.
And Impulse, yeah, that's a big reason.
Okay, sweet. Before we start, any shout-outs?
Shout out to the Game Master Boys, Pedro, David, JP, Julian, all the people that let us borrow cards. Shout out to Aaron and Bergeron, and that's it for me.
Yeah, it's the same.
Cool.
Sweet. Without further ado, please take it with the rest of the deck profile.
So for the Fire Kings, we played 3 Olkoniks, 2 Kieran, 1 Arvada, 1 Ponix, 1 Garunix, and 1 Old Garunix with the Island and Sanctuary. We ended up playing 3 of this because it was the best starter that you had. You could play 3 Kieran, but when we talked about it, Kieran felt like you never really needed to. Sometimes you go through 1 on your first turn, which you can add back with Wolf. If you don't, you have 1 in deck, or you can just pop the 1 that you summon with Garunix when you have it on the field. So you never really need more than these cards because you can recycle them, but this one is the best one into all of the shifter decks, as well as your starter cards with the Azamina. So these are definitely, I think, the correct ratios, but you could play through Kieran. Would be fine. For the Azamina cards, played 3 Deception, 3 Wanted, 1 Witch, 1 OSS, and 1 Hollow. This one is by far the best one. When you draw it, you get so much advantage with your Fire King cards that are free sends. When you start with like Bonfire, get Poplar, get OSS, you get free sends with that. And we didn't play more than 1 Witch because we didn't want to clog too many. We also didn't want to play any of the mirrors where if they do Zombie Vampire, they hit Witch more often. You really never need more than 1 because you just have basically 7 of them. Anything else?
I mean,
yeah.
Playing this ratio, it's like 4 of this and 3 Witch, as opposed to like 6 Witch, and they're all going to get this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just redundant, and that's never the reason you're going to win the game.
I think a big part of this, like being slimmer too, is because we wanted to fit more non-engine than just the standard 12. So we played a little bit more, and that was a concession. For the Snake Eye card, standard Ash, Oak, Poplar, Flamberge, and 3 Bonfire. Yeah, this card is still crazy. I don't think there's really an explanation for these.
I don't know about him, but I think I'm not going to play Oak anymore. I don't think Oak was ever the reason I won a game.
Oak came up for me a lot, where you're just going like search Ponix, but not use Ponix in the hand to play around like Deception. So you can like search Ponix, send it, and then later in your turn you use Oak after you set up the Azamina cards. I think Oak is fine. I think it's an easy side out too, so it helps with side patterns. But you can play without it. But I think Oak is.
I took it out like every game.
Yep. For non-engine, we played 16, I guess. 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Fualos, 3 Impulse, 3 Imperm, and then the Called By. These were the concessions, obviously, for the Chummies, so kind of had to fit this in. This card's very good. It's maxi. This card is actually probably the best card for me all day.
This card is broken.
Drawing this card as your 6th card is crazy. Drawing it turn 1, you feel so safe. Like, I don't know. This is like probably the best card.
Impulse is the best combo. D-Barrier, Impulse, because it puts a trap in grave.
Like also, like we've talked about already, but like Zombie Vampire, you hit like one of these, Impulse becomes like a negate and a pop. Like there's just so many things that Impulse does. It's just.
Did it ever conflict with like an Ogre or something?
Yeah, great question. So like Ogre, sometimes it conflicts. I had it conflict one time where I had to use Impulse before Ogre, but usually when you're using Impulse, it's probably because that's their last play, or it ends the game.
It's like the decks that this is in for. You're going to use this over Impulse. This is really in there to just not die against Kempine Centurion. It's just... people are playing Valor over this, and I don't think Valor's better.
Yeah, so he talked about like a Centurion.
Trades with regains in the Centurion deck.
Yeah, both these are really good. Like sometimes you just hold and wait for them to put like Trudea in Spawn Trap or Primera, and then you just use whichever one you have, and it's great. Like we're not using it on stand up, just stop them from playing and actually making the Blazar. If they don't make Blazar, you're probably winning.
Yep. Okay. What's the minute count?
43.
43. All right. Respect.
Yeah. Had to make the concession.
Hmm.
For the extra, it's really standard. One Moo, one Silvera. Yeah.
Those cards are broken.
One Wolf, one SP, IP, Hida, Dark, Phoenix for the Link 2s. I think this card was like average today.
I think I only made it one time, and I was already winning that game.
Yeah, like the games that I made this, it was like were games where I was just not getting interacted with as much, and I was just getting like an Ash Blossom for free back or Kieran. So like I don't think you really need Sunlight Wolf.
It was only good like when I had Flamberge, and I could make this with the Flamberge and bring it back and then back that Ash to stop the Charmy, but.
Right,
I think that only happened like once.
Yeah, you could probably cut Wolf, but I don't really know what else you'd play other than maybe like Anima, which we didn't play. Then Princess, Amble Whale, and then the Phoenix World Sea line.
I never made those cards.
I did this combo like once, but half the time you're just winning with like the Fire King cards because they're so big. Like it's just so free. Maybe you play like the second Princess.
I want to play 2 Princess.
Yeah,
That card is crazy.
over the Wolf because there are lines though where you get like to Flamberge with Princess, but if you make Princess and then they nib you, if they still play nib and like some of the other decks, then you get like 3 bodies, but you don't really have anything to make. So double Princess is probably correct, and people are also playing the cash cards in the Snake Eye deck now. So
I'm not trying to get Unicorn ripped again.
yeah, and then for the Exceeds, we played Zombie Vampire, Grunix, and Fucho. This for Tenpai. This card is crazy. Like
insane.
I summoned this like at least 3 or 4 times today.
Oh,
You
yeah?
just throw this into a board, and then like if they don't deal with it, you link it off, or you pop it with Island, and then
Yeah.
just bring back 2 bodies again.
Half the time I wasn't even making off Sanctuary. I would get like 2 bodies, or like you would
I'm
draw
just
hands.
throwing the level 8s into the board, and they better deal with it.
Yeah, and if they don't negate the summon, you get it. If they destroy it, then you get your 2 bodies back. It's really strong. And then this is like the concession when you just draw your Fire King cards. It gives you a chance to get in the Snake Eye Azamina engine, and then it gets you basically trap dust your opponent, so you know what they're playing.
I only had it come up once, and I got like double hand trapped, and then I ended up hitting a monster I could link off after getting Ash, and it just let me make Princess and keep playing.
Yeah.
The only other card it would be is like Anima, and that wouldn't have fixed any game I won or lost.
Yeah, if this were Anima, I would have probably lost a game or 2, so I think this is definitely fine. For the side deck, we played the exact same side deck except for 1 card. We played 3 of the other Charmy. This card is definitely better against like the
Us.
yeah, this deck. Yeah, like
Fire King deck.
and then when you play against like some of the decks like Centuria cards, like even though like they're 1-for-1s, you just need to see more cards that are like hand traps to stop them from like full comboing you, or the Snake Eye deck. Obviously this is like much better against that deck too. Yeah, there's really no reason to explain these cards. Then we played 3 Cosmic.
What's the difference?
No, we played this. We both played this.
That card was crazy.
Yeah, it's good in the Fire King matchup in Island, just to basically reset the board and kind of deal with less. It's good against the Centurion deck going second. It's
I
good
put
against
so many deck lockdowns.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
really good into the Floodgates. It's still strong into like Tenpai for seeing and summoning if they need it. So I mean, there's like so much flexibility with this card. He was right about this. I wasn't gonna play it, but he was right. Then we played 3 Thrust, 1 Tactics, and the rest of the package are 3 Barrier and a DDG. Yeah, the goal was just not to lose the Tenpai, to be honest. Like, we just really didn't want to lose to him, so it was just like when you're playing into the boards going second, and you have these, if they like Retaliating Sea, you have like this. You can put in going first for hand traps like a cross out. When you play against Tenpai, you have these. When you play against any Fire King or Snake Eye variant, you have this. So it's just really versatile.
I think I took 3 Retaliating Seas with this today.
Yeah.
There are some hand you can usually play around it, but whenever you're playing through Retaliating Sea and like an Imperm or an Ash, it's a lot harder. So you'll get Ash, do this, and then commit to your Azamina cards, and then thrust for the talents and just take the Retaliating Sea on your first turn, and it just lets you keep playing.
You just link it off into like a dark, and then you can shuffle the Azamina back for hollow, and you've already link climbed with their card. So, yeah, I mean, it did its job. I didn't use this as much as he did, but it definitely came up twice for me, which I needed it. I never used this.
Me either.
I
I put it in one time and just didn't matter. I didn't see it.
Yeah, this I used a
I used that
lot.
card a lot.
Like this card was so good. So
I think the best part about this is it's a trap.
yeah,
When you draw this, like thrust plus impulse, and you're
Yeah.
playing through, like Empire or whatever, you can barrier them, and then they go like Kaiman and try to synchro. You just impulse what they're doing, and then it'll pop it, and they lose 2 bodies.
and then the last card is where we were different. He played a skill drain, and I played a Skyburn. Yeah, this card stinks. It should have been skill drain. I was wrong. I'll take that.
I think like I like Skyburn a lot. The issue is like the decks that you're going to put it in against, you just can't pop their cards, or it just doesn't do enough.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be the reason you win the game. If you're playing into a board you're trying to get to island,
Yeah.
Skill Drain just it's another going first card that blanks the same decks that you put Skyburn in against.
Only thing I wanted for were like some of the stun decks, like the Runic Stuns, where you can hit the like their back row, or you can hit the field spell if they never get to Hugin.
Also, no deck can kill you through this. Your Nixes just keep coming back without popping your board.
Like, yeah, the concession with the Fire King deck is like if you don't die and you have these cards in your deck, like you're probably just going to be winning on the clapback because your cards float so well and they can't deal with bodies as efficiently into your board. You're just going to win a lot of games just off the Fire King cards.
This is for the Snake Eye Fiendsmith deck, so that whenever they charm you or hand trap you and you're trying to make a half board, you can just thrust into this and pass.
They can't kill you.
And they can't kill you.
They have to have like Witch
Unless they're
pitch a
playing the cash
spell,
cards.
and then they have to have like the Azamina. Like they have to have a lot to kill you, but it's just like through hand traps too. So, yep, that was the list.
Sweet. Well, congrats again, guys, on top 8 and top 4.
Thank you.
Until next time, everyone. Boy.